Hey everyone, Sonia here. Here to give you another update on the monkeypox. I mean, I know that some people are thinking, oh wow, like what a bunch of hype, it's not even worth paying attention to it. But I'm not sure that that's the case. There could definitely be something going on, maybe a replay of something we've already been through. So I thought I'd follow this and keep you up to date on what's going on. I mean, at this point, what's happening is it's very strange. Unusual outbreak of a supposedly rare disease that's all of a sudden popping up all over the world. And there's a little bit of backstory too concerning some exercises they did where, monkeypox happened to be the focus. So, let's look at it. So if you like the video, thanks for hitting like. And thank you for your support on Patreon that keeps my channel going. Also, I want to let you know, My Patriot Supply is by far the #1 preparedness company to rely on, with millions of satisfied customers this past year. Act quickly and save $150 on a vital 3-month emergency food kit. This kit provides breakfasts, lunches, dinners, drinks, and snacks, totaling over 2,000 calories a day. Every family in America should have at least one 3-month supply of food per person. Your order ships quickly and arrives in unmarked boxes for your privacy. Don't wait any longer. Go to preparewithtruthorgirls.com. So if you're interested, please check out the link below for more info and a discount. So as we know, this monkeypox is spreading. There'd been a case in the US and quite a lot of cases in Europe. Now here's what's weird. This was an article on express.co.uk from May 19th, 2022. Just so happens, new pandemic warning issued after 250 million die of monkeypox in horror war game simulation. So there had been this simulation, which was actually done a year ago. And now that we have some monkeypox cases cropping up, the express.co.uk thinks that we should know that there was a simulation that ended up predicting 250 million people dying of monkeypox. The world is still unprepared for future pandemics, a report has warned. That's all they ever tell us. You're still unprepared. We were unprepared for the last one. We're still unprepared now. What do they actually have to do to prepare? Hey, I'm starting to wonder. As a simulated war game involving a genetically modified strain of monkeypox, the same disease presently outbreaking around the world, found that it could kill 250 million people. The damning assessment comes from the Independent Panel for Pandemic Preparedness and Response. A year ago, the panel reported to the World Health Organization's main annual assembly that poor coordination and bad decisions had allowed the COVID-19 pandemic to evolve to such catastrophic scale. The experts also presented a long list of measures needed both to overcome COVID and ensure that the world is better prepared for similar threats in the future. So this is Panel for Pandemic Preparedness and Response. So it's the Independent Panel. And here's the paper they did. This was May 2021. Now, this paper, Centering Communities in Pandemic Preparedness and Response, this paper doesn't actually mention monkeypox. That paper was, like they say here, just telling the WHO that basically there was not a good enough system in place, and it was a failure. The COVID-19 was a total failure in pandemic response, and that you need to do better next time. If there were a new pandemic threat this year, next year, or the year after, at least we will be largely in the same place as we were in December 2019. So where does the monkeypox come in? Last year, biosecurity and public health experts wargamed what might happen in the event that terrorists release a genetically engineered smallpox vaccine-proof monkeypox strain. This exercise was a collaboration between the WHO, the U.S. National Security Council, both the African and Chinese Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, and representatives from various biotechnology and pharmacy firms. The scenario was imagined playing out for 18 months, during which more than 3 billion people were infected with the disease and more than 250 million died as a result. Can you imagine if on the heels of the COVID-19 pandemic, something like this happened, you'd have to really wonder, how do these people even keep their jobs? I mean, they had a chance to get it right. They didn't get it right. They should have learned. And then the next one comes along and it's just as bad and even more people died. How are these people even in those positions that they're in? That's what I would wonder. But anyway, their report warns the next global catastrophe could be caused by the deliberate misuse of the tools of modern biology or by a laboratory accident. Fortunately for humanity, the recent outbreaks of monkeypox do not appear to have the benefit of being genetically augmented. Well, that's a relief. So here is the webpage from the NTI. Okay, so what they did was a tabletop exercise focused on reducing high consequence biological threats with potentially catastrophic consequences. And as the other article said, the scenario, a localized bioweapons attack with a genetically engineered monkeypox virus begins in the fictional country of Brinia. Over 18 months, the scenario evolves into a globally catastrophic pandemic. So I was able to find the report from this tabletop exercise that was, I guess, issued November 2021, even though the exercise took place in March 2021. You know, they explain everything here about what it was for and what they were looking at. An unusual strain of monkeypox. So they're talking here about terrorist attacks using a pathogen engineered in a lab with inadequate biosafety and biosecurity provisions and weak oversight. I mean, it's a bit weird because if you're a terrorist, then wouldn't you want it to escape? Are you saying that the terrorists had it escape in their own country? That would be kind of incompetent, especially even for a terrorist. But anyway, so this was interesting here. They have some figures explaining like the progression of this. So notice here it says attack May 15th, 2020. Monkeypox outbreak in Brinia. 1,421 cases, 4 deaths. First of all, the first country that notified the WHO of this monkeypox was UK, Great Britain, and Northern Ireland. So it is kind of weird that in their tabletop exercise, the fictional country is called Brinia. And then in real life, this monkeypox business starts in Britain. I mean, there's not a whole lot of countries that start with BRI. I can't think of any others. So that's a bit fluky. And on top of that, on the tabletop exercise, it starts with May 15th, 2022. And the World Health Organization here says it was on May 13th, 2022, in real life, that the WHO was notified of 2 lab-confirmed cases and 1 probable case of monkeypox from the same household in the United Kingdom. And then there's 4 additional cases on the 15th of May. How weird. I mean, they pretty much nailed it. How did they know? I hope they're wrong about the rest of their predictions. So what happens? June 5th, 2022. No international warnings or advisories. Isn't that how it always goes? I remember with the swine flu, they were like, no, it's okay. Go to Mexico. Enjoy yourself. And then with COVID too, they're like, it's fine. No need to stop travel. No need to do anything. It's fine. 2 years later, we're all still traumatized. It's still not over. You'd think that they would learn from past experience and actually take some action when it's early in the game, not wait for it to spread like wildfire. They say in this report, in this exercise, no international warnings or advisories. That's what they've done in the past. And as of right now, that's exactly what they're doing. As of today, the 22nd of May, 2022. Key issues, international alert and warning system, benefits of and need for early risk assessment. Well, I'm sure they're right about that. I mean, do these people ever learn? Do they ever change their ways? What's that thing they say about doing the same thing and expecting a different result? So then this continues. And the next thing they have on their timeline is January 10th, 2023. 83 countries affected, 70 million cases, 1.3 million deaths. So clearly it just, runs wild, runs amok all over the world, just like what just happened with COVID. Monkeypox engineered to be vaccine resistant. Wouldn't that be shitty? What? National responses, effects on early action, international supply chain challenges, which we already have because of COVID. Can you imagine if this turns out to be accurate? Imagine the shortages. It's like they just never learn. They always wait until it's totally out of control. And they're like, oh, please, everybody go back in the house. Go back inside. Stay inside. There's a disease. Stop everything now. Before it was like, no, it's okay. You can travel. No, stop. Go in the house. Too late. Cat's out of the bag. Can of worms is open. Okay, so then we're at May 10th, 2023. So that would be like roughly a year from now. Move 3 scenario, 480 million cases, 27 million deaths. Revelation of terror group origins. Infiltration of civilian biolab. So it takes them an entire year to figure that out. I guess it's possible. I mean, look how long it took them to figure out that maybe something did come from a lab. And still they're not sure. I mean, with COVID, For the whole first year, it was like, no, absolutely not. And then they're like, well, maybe it did. Who really knows? So I guess it's very possible it'd take an entire year to figure out where this fictional monkeypox came from. Key issues, biosecurity and governance of dual-use bioscience research. And then by December 1st, 2023, the entire population of the world is dead. 3.2 billion cases, 271 million deaths. Global differences in national response contribute to significantly variable outcomes. Wow, this would be a real disaster, especially if actually the vaccines don't work. Then, how would you ever get it under control? It would just keep coming, I mean, you could lock down for a while and keep it out, but then once you open up, it gets in there, and then you have the same problem everyone else does. But they have done exercises before, such as Event 201. You remember that? October 18th, 2019 in New York, exercise about a fictional pandemic, which didn't exist. It was a coronavirus pandemic, just coincidentally happened just before the actual coronavirus pandemic, but it was just a coincidence, which they explained. Their predictions for the outcome of their fictional coronavirus pandemic were a lot worse than what ended up happening in real life. So if these experts here are saying there is going to be 271 million deaths from this fictional pandemic, that doesn't mean that we should assume that that's going to happen in real life. But it is kind of weird that they did an exercise for monkeypox not that long ago. They basically warned the world, warned the WHO, warn the nations to take action promptly should such a thing arise. And yet, here we are. And they're doing exactly the same thing they did with swine flu and with COVID, basically. So if, hypothetically it turned out that this was this kind of scenario, which I'm not saying it is, but just as per these experts, then that would mean basically that we're all screwed. I mean, that about sums it up. If we weren't screwed enough, we're definitely screwed now. Okay, and here's one more weird thing about the current monkeypox outbreak. So I had showed you this article last time from CBC, monkeypox cases under investigation in Canada as outbreak spreads in Europe, US. And in that article, they said the earliest known case in UK was linked to travel in Nigeria, according to UK Health. I'm a little bit confused. I mean, I may have just missed something, but the WHO, who says 2 lab-confirmed cases and 1 probable case from the same household, and on the 15th 4 additional cases, it says no source of infection has been confirmed yet. Where's the one from Nigeria? Like, how come they didn't mention it? Yeah, so there's these 3 cases in a family, 4 additional cases of the West African clade. It was some in like a gay sauna or something. No source of infection has been confirmed for either the family or MSM clusters based on currently available information. This is from the WHO. So regardless of what CDC said, the WHO is saying that they have not confirmed the source of infection. Yeah, I mean, I read this several times because I was like, no, but that doesn't make sense. They told us it was from travel from Nigeria, but the WHO is saying there's no source of infection. So that is weird. Infection seems to have been locally acquired in the United Kingdom. So yeah, what's all this about linked to travel in Nigeria? I mean, maybe they just haven't told the WHO yet. They should keep them abreast. But so far, no, they haven't. Anyway, that's weird. And since then, more cases detected in UK on a daily basis. Now remember, this is supposed to be not that contagious. So how are these people getting it? And it includes now a child admitted to ICU in London. 20 cases confirmed in the UK. That's confirmed. So there must be a whole bunch of others that just aren't confirmed yet. And a kid in the ICU. So don't tell me the kid was in the gay sauna. Obviously not. More cases being detected on a daily basis. So again, here they're also saying the agency confirmed the first case of monkeypox on 7th of May, 3 days after a passenger with symptoms returned to London from Nigeria. But the WHO just doesn't confirm that. So I don't know what the deal is with that. But even if one person came over from Nigeria, you mean to say that, what, did they go to the gay sauna and then whoever picked it up there like quickly went to the gay sauna in Portugal, and then one of those people just quickly went to the gay sauna in Montreal? I mean, something's weird. So yeah, it's being reported that the cases are being mostly linked to gay saunas. As Reuters here says, the word sauna is used in Spain to describe establishments popular with gay men looking for sex rather than just a bathhouse. So you know, it's not just me saying that. Breaking news, newsflash. The WHO now proposes that this outbreak may have originated at 2 raves in Europe, not just a gay sauna. Dr. David Heyman, a big expert, says the monkeypox outbreak could have started with gay and bi men doing the nasty at 2 raves in Spain and Belgium. And as of today, a significant rise, total of 120 confirmed or suspected cases have been reported, although the other article said it was even more than that. Switzerland, Netherlands has several patients. Germany, you know, it's just weird. The US has a case in Massachusetts. Israel has someone in his 30s who came back from Western Europe. Spain, Portugal, Italy, Sweden, and Canada, mostly in young men who hadn't previously traveled to Africa. France, Belgium, and Australia. And of course the UK. Well, I mean, really, like, that's just crazy. So fast. Multi-country monkeypox outbreak in non-endemic countries. The WHO has a list here. It's all Western countries. Isn't that kind of weird? Doesn't that kind of strike you as like, that's curious? There's no Asian countries on this list. There's no South American countries. Africa is not even on this list. I mean, I guess it would be considered endemic in some African countries. But yeah, it's really just the West. How weird is that? What's going on? It's so weird. I mean, I guess like one hypothesis, like I said, was that, you know, there's someone who's been making the rounds of the gay saunas, and then the people who were in the gay sauna with them also like immediately traveled and went to other saunas. But I mean, that sounds like a fairy tale. Like, it sounds fictional to me. It doesn't really sound likely. It could be likely if it was like it happened in one country and then the person came to another country and spread it there. But for it to be all over the world like this within a couple of weeks, it doesn't sound likely. I'll wait to see what they conclude, you know, what the proof is, but it just seems very weird to me. Of course, I have no explanation, but I thought you might find this all interesting. And again, like I said, they did do this exercise not that long ago, a year ago, and they said, you know, you need to do it differently next time. Don't let it get out of control. But as far as I can tell, what are they actually doing to get this under control? I don't know. I heard they're bringing out some smallpox vaccine to some of these places. But like if they were, look, they got rid of smallpox without locking down the world. And they got rid of it without even vaccinating everyone, and certainly not all at the same time. They were able to track down the cases, their contacts, and then like selectively vaccinate around them so that, in those cases and those people, and isolate just those people to control the infection so it wouldn't keep spreading. And apparently that worked. And that's what they do in other countries for things like plague and stuff like that. Find out who had it and then just isolate the contacts. But right away, don't wait until they've given it to more people and more people. So I guess now is their chance to act and get it under control properly. And not wait until it's all over and then put us all back to lockdown. I mean, really, is that what they're planning to do? Let's hope not. But I don't think this is just some little thing that's just going to disappear. It's looking like it might turn into something. Anyway, let me know what you think. And thanks for hitting like. And thanks for your support on Patreon. Thanks for checking out the link also. And thanks for listening to me. And I'll see you next time.